get pole A350?
Well, in my opinion, it's gonna go to the current championship leader, which is Fax. Honestly, he is a pretty quick driver, as he just proved in last time in Azerbaijan. So my bets are on him, but also don't forget that we have other drivers such as YSI, who's also pretty fast overall in PA. But we have to find out, as we are right now watching the current championship leader, Fax, who's out on track, one of the 9 drivers.
Now here's my
in
question,
a Red Bull.
YSI is on the form of his life currently in qualifying, but in race pace he's not been as consistent. Fax has been the very consistent one in race pace. So I think we might see a YSI pole position, but we might see Fax get his way onto another win. Or we might see Alan as well, Alan winning the opening race of the season too. So I'll take you on the lap with championship leader Fax going through turn 4. Of course, on the hard tyres it's quite hard to do this. So grip here, it's very reliant on grip, and of course Fax is looking to struggle a little bit. But here we go. Up the hill, the only DRS on the track. You want to try and get that DRS open nice and early. And for him, that's a 32.4, which is a decent first sector. Nowhere near where you exactly want to be properly, but it's still a nice first sector on the hard compound tyres, on the white ring tyres. So you don't really want to get over that curb. It's not very nice, but here we go. Into that last of the corner. It's very hard. You'll try and get your foot down in 3rd, up to 4th, and try and get at least up to 6th gear to the end of this lap. Ideally, you're looking for, decent time, a 109. It's technically a 108.9. And that should actually get Fax through into Q2, most likely.
Yes, as of course in qualifying, there has to be a knockout time, so time where drivers has to meet to get through into the next part of qualifying. And in Czechia, I believe that's going to be on mid-7, somewhere around that. So drivers will have to push, of course. Right now they're on hard compound tires, so we won't be able to see them pulling out those times yet. Soon they will, as for the qualifying rules, you have the chance to go on soft a couple of minutes before the end of qualifying. So let's look at the standings so far in qualifying. Fax is on P1, moment 8.9, followed by Matt 3.5, 1.7. In 3rd, got one of the Williams drivers of Chiamar from 10.3, and then we got Ozzy in 4th, Altis in 5th, and then we got the drivers without the laps. So we just have to wait a couple of more moments, and possibly we'll see new lap time set. So yeah, so far it's looking good for Red Bull Fax, though the qualifying's not over. Still got 6 minutes to go. Everything can happen. Let's look at it's also fun with no drivers with current hot laps. So now we can wait until someone starts one. But here is Alan now in the Montana starting his lap. And there was a pretty good exit there from turn 1. And now up to turn 3, comes to gather wide. And not to let the exit unless you invalidate your dive. And now the quick left and right. I think he went too wide there.
That looks a little wide for Alan there. Out the exit, I think turn 6, that is. Of course.
Yeah, I was pretty quiet. Yeah, that is invalidation from Alan.
Alan probably is going to want to respawn now, because we only have 15 seconds left of these hard tyre runs until mediums are allowed, and you ideally want to get at least a medium run in first.
Yeah, so Okay. Just be right back, everyone. Actually, we'll remove the tire graphic. It's on the screen. Oh, actually, sorry, my bad. Anyway, let's move on. Still send drivers for the laps. Altus being the last one of them, going between 1, 5, and 4. And like Akibo said, soon the drivers will be able to start on mediums, as they do now, actually.
Yeah, it's past 5 minutes.
As I see already a couple of drivers on mediums, so it's, well, for sure we'll have faster times. Let's see who will be with the fastest. No. Fax is right now out on track. We're right now still watching Alan. This time he's on mediums.
A350.
Sector 1.
Here's my question. Okay. Is Weissler going to attend? Because right now he's not here, and that might be a little bit of a problem. Coming to the race will be probably a pit lane.
I think Weissler's going to join either exactly before the race starts or don't join.
Okay.
Because this isn't the first time he has missed Q1.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, here we go. So, Alan going for his lap in the Alpine. It's going to be into 4th gear through turn 1, trying to get as close to that barrier but not hit it as possible. Up the hill, through the little sort of chicane areas, and you want to try and cut the corner a little bit, go onto the grass, and out. You have a little chicane, but it's not really going to make too much difference. Just try and keep on the curbs through there. Going to go here, up into about 7th gear, shift down to 6th, and that's out the track limits, and that isn't going to be a valid lap for Alan. That's going to be invalidated, because that was a little bit too wide out of that large part. And let's see what Alan's done. It is invalid. It's not going to be allowed.
Let's look at Altus, shall we, just for a second, because he's right now on a hot lap. He sets a personal best.
Thax is on a hot lap now. Thax is going for his medium run lap. He was a little bit late.
Let's look at P3. Let's look at P3 because he has fastest 2 sectors. Here it is.
Let's see what. Yeah, it's a 31 and a 10. He's ideally going to go into the 107s through here. So only a 108.8. He lost a lot of time in that last sector. And Matt goes top. P1. But here we go, Thax here. Thax has set a purple sector on a 31.5. It's very, very good. Very quick, especially on these medium compound tyres too. In the middle sector, it's not purple. It's only a 10.0. You want to be about 2 tenths quicker than that, really. He's going on the curb. That might hamper his time a little bit. Ideally, you want to be in the low 26s, possibly high 25s. He goes on the bump. He's keeping it very nice, neat. Down to 3rd. He's going to try and sprint from 3rd all the way to the start-finish line. So he goes on the curb all the way into 107.7. Quite a nice time. Now, softs are allowed, just as Thax sets his time. And here we go. This is going to be Alan's last chance to get into Q3. Because...
yeah, he hasn't set the lap time at all.
That's not looking great.
Yeah, so... 1.5 minutes to go. Soft tires should be permitted now, and now we finally see the 1 minute 7s, as we already do with Fax in P1. This is right now also out on track.
Of course, knockout.
As we are right now watching, Alan once again. He is on out lap. Alan already had 2 hot laps so far. All of them were invalidated, sadly, due to a track invalidation.
But here we go, on to a lap with Alan. You want to cut that little last chicane, try and carry as much speed up into 7th, probably before the line, and get into 8th before turn 1. Again, down into 4th, normally before turn 1. Try and miss that barrier just at the entrance of turn 2. You're going through up into... ooh, that's not a bump that you want to be getting. A lot of rear-overs here. That shouldn't be a corner cut, though. Alright, through into this next sort of left-right sort of area. He's going to try and keep it through. That's in track limits. I think he's being very careful on this lap. Doesn't need to go too quickly. Lots of people aren't setting outstanding times. So here we go to the end of sector 1. It's invalid. And that's Alan's qualifying done.
Yes, another invalidation from Alan.
But it should be a hot lap for Thax now.
Kind of worrying. Yeah, let's look at Thax now.
In the black Python. He's going to be going wide on the entrance there. That might be a corner cut, it might not. He's already topped the session by over a second. And Weissai hasn't attended yet, which is an interesting thing. This might be an easy one to him. He's got a little bit wide there, but I don't think that should be track limits. Into 5th, and then up the hill, get the DRS nice and open, nice and quickly. Hello, Vikal.
There is an issue with the Discord stream, I think.
Okay. Let's see.
It's going a bit slow. Yeah.
There's
it's
no
at
buffering.
4 minutes. Q1 is already... Yeah, but check the Discord stream. It's like 4 minutes behind.
That should be fine though till the end. It's not.
Will
it's
it be though?
It's not 4 minutes behind. It's only like 30 seconds. Don't worry. All right, here we go. So with Thax.
Oh, the Discord stream, not the YouTube. All right.
Thax going at 10.0 in sector 2. It's not very quick. It can go a lot quicker, but here we go to the line. It's a 107.1.
Just a bit.
That's only about 2-3 tenths off the world record. Here you go. That's Emin. He's gone up to 5th. That's going to be Alan out of qualifying, just about. Who actually no? Will Alan get into Q2? Because technically he's 9th, but he's not set a lap time.
So
Lightning. Lightning. He's on a lap. He's going rather nicely. He should be able to go and improve, probably to 3rd. It looks like. Fast driver approaches the line. Where does he put the car? Up to 3rd. 108.615. Alright, that's the end of Q1.
And soon we should be able to see green flag of second round of qualifying. Fax, Matt, Free, Lightning, Non-Soko, just Maxi.
Alex, I got a question. Is it going to be Alan or Milo through to Q2? Because technically both of those didn't set times. There's only one other space left.
It's 8. It's the top 8.
Oh, okay, so we've changed it slightly. All right. So that's Alan, who won the opening race in Australia. He's out. He's been doing solidly in qualifying this time around, but nowhere near as good this time. So here we go.
But anyway, green flag's out, and we are on the way for the second round of qualifying. Let's see who's going to be on pole position here in Czechia, as we are right now waiting for first onboard views for the drivers. And like I said at the beginning of the stream, in my opinion, the favorites to be on pole position is Fax, as he just demonstrated his pace on softs in Q1, almost reaching the high 1 mid-6. But that was just on Q1. Let's see how he performed in Q2. But also there is Matt, who's also pretty much quick. And we have the first drivers to look at. Right now watching Aussie. Aussie's improved up to Q2 after being top 6. Let's see where will he finish for Fiodon. We got also just Maxi, Matt, MM, and Lightning. So all the 5 drivers are out on track.
A350. I predicted pole position to be a 107.3, or roughly around there. And in Q1, Thax has already put that to shame with a 107.1. So, bring that up, okay? The track record around here is a 106.8 set by Hayas. And, you know, very, very quick time. Do you think we could see possibly a new track record set by Thax this qualifying?
Well, I'm gonna say nothing is impossible. I mean, of course, Fax is a great driver. He could go for that, but we are talking about a world record, something that no one has ever done before he also. It's gonna be a difficult challenge for Fax to get the new world record, especially with the current car. I mean, of course, it will be equal cars, but still, it's gonna be a little bit tricky. But if he just focuses on having a fast lap without invalidating, then Who knows? Maybe.
Matt35 promoted to the Ferrari, goes up to pole, provisional pole with a 108.2. But Thax is now just going for his lap. Carries a lot of speed into turn 1. Nearly misses the barrier just about. Into turn 2, he goes up the hill, just around the corner. Nice and wide, cuts to the corner, over the grass. But that's going to still be valid. Over the chicane sort of areas. Oh no, it's not. He's invalidated his lap. So Thax had incredible form in Q1. Slightly pushing a little bit too far over the boundaries, possibly. He's going to get about 2 more laps in, if he does it correctly. But it's not going to be great for Thax if it is. So who's going quickly right now? It's just Maxi in that other Ferrari, right behind Aussie. Aussie should give way to him, I think. I don't think Aussie's on a quick lap. So here we go. Through into Sector 2. That's a 10.1. He's looking just on par, a little bit quicker than his teammate, Matt35, in that other Ferrari. So he goes across, down into about 3rd gear, and then after it's a sprint up to the line, try and catch a little bit of the grass, and then over that little chicane area. And he goes to the line, it's a 108.5.
And that's only P2.
He lost a lot of time in that last sector.
Yeah, so P2 for just Maxi, but let's look at Altus for a second. He's right. Oh, sorry, or maybe Bats.
Yeah.
Let's look at Altus, who's like. Yeah. So
Emin, I think is possibly on a quick lap.
No.
Emin is going to go onto a lap now. So Emin onto a hot lap across that little area. You get a lot more speed by cutting that chicane. And now onto the hot lap, he's going to go down to about 4th. He's gone a bit wide through there, but he's going to get a nice exit of the corner. You sometimes like it to slide a bit. Again, try and keep it nice and wide and turn it into the corner like a jolt. He's got Thax right behind him for this last thing, so here we go. Through, he's going to keep it nice within the track bounds. Going to be going down to about 5th, possibly, and then up the hill. Where's that Thax behind? Thax not setting another lap, struggling. So let's carry on looking at the Williams driver. Yeah, Emin. In Sector 2. Oh no, Emin had an invalid Sector 1. That's interesting, but still carrying on with the rest of the lap. That's a very interesting type of idea to do.
So well, let's look for a second for Matt, as he is also starting his lap.
Yeah.
He's currently in P1, and we're going to be surprised if a pole sitter has a 1:08 as his time.
Yeah.
So
Thax topping Q2 with a 107. So a 108.2 for a Q1 for a Q2 pole time would be quite interesting. But here we go. Through that to the chicane area, keeping it nice and wide onto the green, and then after through this nice chicane, we'll try and slightly cut the corner, get into 6th gear, then up into 7th again through there, down to 5th through this next corner. Oh, and I think that's track limits.
And
Max outdone himself, but Maxi is on a lap still. Maxi is going to go and get a lap in. After we can have a look at Thax. Where does Maxi put it on the Sector 1? It's a 31.8, not a possible. Oh, and he flips!
Oh, it's a flip!
Just over, just clips that curb. It's a very dangerous curb, you know.
Let's look at Thax. Let's look at Thax again. He's starting his lap, so
onto his lap.
Let's see.
Who's that? It's Altus, who's slightly blocking him, I think, but he's also on a quick lap. Oh, he's gone a bit wide. And I think he should be obliged to let Thax through there, and he has. Here you go, Thax swinging into that corner. Oh, and Lightning goes ahead of Maxi in the Haas. Very interesting. The junior team driver outperforming the main team driver. Oh, and it's wide, and that's it for Thax.
Yeah, in fact, going wide.
That's it for Thax in qualifying.
Let's see. I think it's over. Yeah, it's over.
And Thax can't set another lap.
It's done.
Thax looking an absolute favourite for pole.
Let's look at Nons. Let's look at Williams in P7. He's also about to end his lap.
Here we go.
Here he is.
To the line.
About to cross the line. It's up to P4.
P4.
Had a brilliant last sector. But, very disappointing.
Let's not count out just Maxi.
Thax, that lap is not going to be allowed that you're about to go on. He's just doing this all for the fun, showing what he could have done. He's going to be probably a little bit more cautious on this lap. Still going nice and wide into that turn 4.
That's what Maxi past the second sector. Maxi past the second sector.
Max,
Yeah.
what?
Yes,
Here we go. So
Maxi
Maxi, he's got the fastest
sector.
a
Ferrari
9.9.
driver.
That's not exactly lightning pace, but he might be able to go and get past Matt now with that nice second sector. You go across. Ooh, slightly cut the chicane. Is that going to be valid? To the line?
Is it gonna be valid?
pole!
Line, and it's gone pole. Ooh.
Wow.
By 0.2 of a second, just Maxi's on pole position.
Disappointing.
I don't see Max.
Disappointment for Thax.
Yeah.
Joyfulness for Ferrari. It's an amazing feat for them.
A final lap wonder. Wow.
Yeah. Front row lockout for Ferrari. And that's only the second ever front row lockout that a team has had since, I believe it was Zandvoort last season with the Alpines. So Ferrari getting another front row lockout and spoiling an amazing qualifying for Thax it was shaping up to be.
Yeah.
But Thax
just couldn't get a lap in.
Thax was pushing too hard, you know. He was just going over the limit. You saw him. He was just trying to push the car to its absolute limit, trying to get the best time in. As I was saying, trying to get that lap record, you know. But failing to do so just there.
Mm-hmm.
So, that brings us to the end of the qualifying session, which was, well, somewhat exciting, of course. Thax not being on pole position is somewhat unusual. Just Maxi on pole position after pulling out a, well, like we're doing basketball buzzer, pole position out of his own teammate. So, something that we haven't seen like Zandvoort. But now, let's move on to the main events. To the race, as now you can see a couple of drivers out on track, such as just Maxi and MM, and also Altus, and no, actually no, I was supposed to say Fax, but he's just in the pit. So, Pearls, what do you think? Who's gonna be your pick for the race?
At first, it was either gonna be Tax or Whiteslide, but obviously Whiteslide's in here, and then Tax had a upsetting Q2. Nah, race pace wise, I still think Tax can get a good position, but right now Ferraris with the front row lockout, it seems to be in their way for this race. But yeah, don't count out Tax for this one.
Yeah, I'm also gonna keep Facts in mind, as he is not. Remember, he's starting 8th. Not last, so he's up there. So for my pick, I'm gonna Pax or just Maxi. Those two for me are look like those favorite ones, those that have more chances of winning Grand Prix. But without further ado, we have everyone on grid. No, we don't. We're still waiting for 2 drivers. 3, sorry. Or either they are. Yeah, there we go. Lightning is also now going backwards to line up on the grids.